So I just wanted to give a shout out to some of our caregivers really quickly because we've been able to start some cases pretty quickly. I think our record is 3 hours from the time we did the home assessment to the time we actually sent a caregiver out to the home. So that was amazing. But we just did another quick turnaround yesterday evening where we met with someone at about 5 p.m. They needed someone for this morning. And so we were able to get everything aligned, get an available caregiver to be able to go out to the home. And I know it doesn't sound like much, like, oh, that's barely 12 hours later, give or take. But when it comes to like coordinating with caregivers, right? I mean, they're not available all hours of the night. So if we call or text at 8, 9 o'clock p.m., they may or may not answer. But if we were able to get them at 5 o'clock, right, and say, hey, are you available tomorrow morning? If they are, yes. And also depends on proximity. It depends on their actual availability. It depends on their skill level. So there's lots of filters to choose from when we're getting a caregiver line for a case, because we have some caregivers that are more companion. We have some caregivers that are more in the intermediate level, and then we have some caregivers that have a lot of experience, whether it's at facilities, they were prior nurses, or they just have an extensive amount of experience in home care. So we have a wide range, and so if there's an intensive patient that we're going to be tending to, we need someone more experienced. That's filter number one. Filter number two would be, okay, are they nearby? If they're in Hemet and the case is in Temecula or in Lake Elsinore, it's not that they can't do it, but sometimes it matters. And then we have to also filter in for their literal availability. So we can have boxes 1 and 2 checked that they have the experience and then they're within the proximity. But what happens if they have another shift somewhere else, or if they happen to work at either a facility or a different agency and they have or they have prior commitments? So there's a lot of filters to go through before we actually get a caregiver out. So I'm not saying it's impressive to send someone out so soon. I'm just saying that we're proud to be able to do that despite some of those hurdles. And so if there's ever families that need help and you're wondering what the turnaround time is, typically for home care agencies, it could take a little bit of time, but some of us out here can do it, within a pretty quick time frame, I guess you can say. But it definitely always does depend on circumstances, whether that be the actual proximity to the case, the actual timing, because some cases want to start a week from the time of the home assessment. So we might meet on Wednesday, and they said, oh, let's start the case next Tuesday. We're good for now. That every family has a different dynamics that are involved, and so there's not a cookie cutter approach to this. It's always going to be individualized to the family. So anyway, just wanted to give that shout out to our caregivers, because some of them are doing an amazing job with being able to be flexible for the family. So I just want to appreciate them, and then also to let families know, if they're interested in home care, that we don't require this rigid schedule, although the schedule can help. But if you need some flexibility, we are definitely willing to work with families, because we know that not every single family has the exact same needs on the exact same day, things like that. So just wanted to put that out there. Hope everyone's having a good day. And then if you did need any services, or if you knew somebody that could help and benefit from having a caregiver come out, you can give us a call at 951-346-1352. Find us online, Griswold Home Care of Greater Temecula, and hope we can at least point you in the right direction as a resource to you, and just be of any help we can be.